Humanity is facing the greatest transition due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Exchange of resources between countries has plunged, resulting in a terrible economic situation. We have to work together to cope with the pandemic as we share a common destiny. I want to share how Korea is currently fighting the pandemic. The two main elements of Korea's effort to overcome the pandemic are the application of humanistic philosophy and an advanced smart quarantine system. Firstly, human-centered philosophy, where life and human rights come above all, is represented by three principles: openness, transparency, and democracy. Secondly, COVID-19 diagnostic kits that quickly and accurately check if a person is infected, and a smart epidemiological investigation support system that tracks the path of the infected person using ICT. Providing protective equipment to medical staff is the first step in the fight against the virus. And thanks to the devoted medical staff who worked at frontline day and night to contain the virus. Moreover, South Korea's extensive diagnostic tests and rapid tracking and quarantine of confirmed patients are the most important factors in successful disease control. A Korean bioventure company started developing a COVID-19 diagnostic kit when the first genome sequence was published. In just 3 weeks, they were able to mass produce those diagnostic kits. In the early days of the outbreak, it took more than a day to trace the movement of the confirmed person using mobile phones' GPS, credit card payment, and CCTV analysis. Later, a smart epidemiological investigation support system was developed that automatically analyzes the vast amount of data, such as city traffic and energy, using the smart city development technology, reducing the investigation time to within 10 minutes. The information gathered is directly reported to local governments. Then the local governments notify residents in real time using text messages about the location of the newly confirmed cases. Furthermore, local governments would temporarily suspend restaurants, malls, and other places visited by the confirmed patients. Disclosure of personal information is in accordance with the Infectious Disease Prevention Law, which enables the use of personal information for epidemiological investigations during a crisis. And all personal information used will be destroyed immediately after COVID-19 is resolved. Through the self-quarantining security protection application, suspected patients send the current health status information related to fever, coughing, and sore throat, and public officers monitor people in quarantine using GPS on a daily basis to prevent them from leaving their designated area. The world's first drive-through and walk-through exam systems have been set up. And at the airport, every overseas arrival must remain in quarantine for 14 days. In a recent survey regarding social distancing, 63% of respondents oppose easing social distancing, even though the number of new cases has fallen to less than 10 per day. A responsible citizenship that prioritizes public safety over individual freedom and convenience, the systematic conduct of government duties, and the dedication of medical teams. Together, they are driving force behind Korea's attempt of bringing the pandemic under control. Korean society is transforming into the concept of protection and prevention, and on-tech and online activities have become a norm. All Koreans wear masks in public places these days, not only to protect themselves, but also for others as well. In restaurants, we sit in line with zigzag seat markers and eat without directly facing each other. At the entrance of buildings, everyone's temperature is checked and hand sanitizers are provided. Antiviral film is attached to elevator buttons, and many employees work from home and or work flexible working hours to avoid the crowds while commuting. Meetings are now done virtually. At places where face-to-face communication with customers is essential, transparent screens have been installed. School graduation and entrance ceremonies have been canceled, and schools are holding their classes online. Religious institutions are providing online services, and government exams are being conducted in open spaces like stadiums. And most of all, there's no panic buying in Korea. Thanks to digital-based online shopping and delivery system, groceries and daily necessities can be purchased anywhere, anytime. South Korea held its election for the National Assembly on April 15th as scheduled. 29 million people, approximately 66% of the electorate, voted. At the polling stations, people maintained a 2-meter social distancing, and each person was asked to disinfect their hands and wear plastic gloves to prevent infection. As of April 30th, after 2 weeks of the election, 0 cases of infected patients were reported from this election. No doubt, coronavirus will end in the future. However, as Dr. Henry Kissinger said, we will live in a new world that is completely different from the one before the pandemic. One thing we should never forget, it is not only technology, but also human-centered philosophy that prioritizes human life and human rights above all will help us thrive, and it is the absolute value that we have to pursue. We are all connected during this pandemic. I strongly believe that we will come out of this stronger with more wisdom and experience. It is up to us to step up and emerge out of this crisis into a better future. Thank you.